Let's discuss the challenges we faced in testing web-based software. The first challenges we face is integration. What is integration? Of course, you integrate the number of files to your web applications, but the application's three features like functionalities, reliability, and performance should be working well. And those applications makes it better. I can say it makes wonderful. Of course, we cannot compromise without these three features. I cannot compromise my web application to serve a purpose. In the end, it defines the overall application performance to the end user. So without three features like reliability, functionalities, and performance, the end user will start grumbling or complaining. It will give you a bad effect or give you some bad remarks, of course. And I'm sure that each and everyone in a software field or software company don't want to lose their customer. In software engineering, you have studied the customer is your first priority or highest priority to serve them what they need. And the second is security. How do you establish a security or how do you make secure a web pages? Regular security testing is done, the one thing. Second thing, there is a fear. Of course, every common man fears of cyber theft. Cyber theft can be done anywhere, anytime without awareing you. Your social media can be hacked anytime. Your router can be hacked anytime. Of course, the router is a different thing, but social media, your Gmail account, etc., etc. Also, how you will make sure of your data, a data theft, a data loss matters much more. This has to be tested on regular basis to keep them safe because day by day the cyber threat comes up with the new technology that they can steal or how they can steal your data without even aware of yours. But when you just find or surf a web page, that time you come to know something is wrong, something has been hacked up. The second thing about the risk of internet-based application and internet-based application. And finally, this all leads to the quality assurance team, the one who will check all these things, who will test your security feature. Without this, without testing, without untesting your security, without the risk resolved, the quality assurance team will not release the web pages or web-based application to its users. If they give you a green signal, if all those definition what you define in your requirements are being fulfilled, are being tested successfully, and they are quality assured with some quality features that we'll see in the next chapter, then your mission is accomplished. The third is performance. Of course, performance matter much more in every field. If you buy your phone, you want to see how your internet works on the phone, how speed is your phone gives. That is the performance you want to see on your mobile. The same way, the performance you see on your web page also. Application that has is been loaded, how much time it takes to load your application. It defines your speed, and in the end, it matters a lot. And seriously, if we make a customer application makes it faster in a single second, then we don't have a problem. Hardware testing is the misunderstanding the required application features. Yes, hardware testing can lead to a breach to insecure of your application performance. Integration and interoperability testing directly under influential performance testing. Now, hardware testing, I'll just repeat this point. Hardware testing is not about your giving rise to your performance. There are a lot of things taken into consideration while testing a performance. Your internet speed, your router or the modem installed on your web browser, the web application, your operating system to open up the web page, everything depends on all these things needed to integrate. And then the integrate, as I said, the function, the performance. And here comes the performance that while loading up, how much time it takes, not the hardware. Hardware also be the factor, but not as the highest. Just it can be a lowest low priority can be because there is a misconception based. Next is usability. Of course, we love to scale scalability, of course, the scalability and interactive web application. That means the users, we increase the number of users who can use my web applications with an interactive way. Scalability feature is always introduced in client server network or any other type of network, and normally we define and we test this scalability features. If I give permission of my web page to access only 5 end users, and if there are 10 web users, then my page will not able to load. It will show a slow response. Whether into Windows-based or a Mac operating system, the tester definitely perform the usability testing. Of course, you have different browser, different operating system with different hardware configuration. All these need to be tested thoroughly, and it will once it tested thoroughly, it will be used. How it will be used? The use word, the usability is to be tested. Is this web application is useful to my customer? How use how my customer will use this? Or I have to see to my customer's point of view whether the usefulness things are provided or unnecessary things informations are being given. All these factors have to be checked. So this all these features comes under usability. The next is incoming and outgoing of the apps. Now, when shopaholic, the one who likes to shop, enters into e-commerce website, signing in or directly on the product page, and he or she purchases online ticket booking in application, then user may directly choose a movie event, buying a ticket, and he or she then lands up in a payment page via third party website. Of course, you know this merchandise process. When your application has variety entry and exit, the application tester take a deep care to take these points very well because the payment is done at the third party. That means this is merchant bank or merchandise process, whatever the thing is, it should not be misused. So your web pages, like from booking the ticket to the next link, the linking, the anchor, the link web app pages, I mean to say. So one link, click another link page. It should be directed properly and useful information should be noted so that the customer should not face any problem with this. Next is the browser, cross browser. Web application need to be tested on various browsers. Of course, there are IE, Internet Explorer, with different versions 6, 7, 8. Then you have Netscape Navigator. Then you have Google Chrome. So it should not be the same thing that my application is running very well on the Chrome, but it is not executing on the Netscape Navigator or Internet Explorer. Then what should be the use of it? It should be compatible to all the browsers. Then, in fact, any application needs to be considered to perform a browser testing. As I mentioned earlier, yes, it has to go to browser testing to say that how compatible my web application to this browser. Is it a loading error? Is it a fault? link defined, or it is like some are visible, some links are visible, some are not, poorly web page defined, etc., etc., and so on. All the negative remarks can come up. So it's better to define or to do the browser testing. Lower internet speed and bandwidth. Of course, these challenges are faced while testing a web-based software. When a web application is tested, the low internet speed is hated by everyone. I hate the low internet speed, you hate the low internet speed, and everyone. So we want our application to work on those devices which has a higher internet or good internet bandwidth. So while considering this testing internet-based application with low internet speed, my performance should not be affected or my web components should not be affected. Of course, my web components will take much time to load because of poor internet, but they will load. They should load it. They should not be, or they should not respond very not negative response actually needed. So this is quite important factor to test about the internet factor, the speed of the internet along with the loading of this web-based application. Then regulator compliance and standard based. Yes, once the quality assurance team define the my web applications, we also need to check that it's regulatory compliance and according to the standards specified globally. Of course, yes. And the firewalls, how my web application defined in a firewall, tested across the various firewalls. The other chances this might support, as I say, or they even block the web application web responses as defined as you want them to behave very well. The scenarios need to be tested very well. You define the number of scenarios like you want your firewalls to block your web application first. Second, you want your firewall to access all your web application projects, then you expect them to behave well, you expect them to behave abnormally, you test all these features. Then we have web service requests. Yes, this is very important. All our latest web application now consist of this XML, SOAP, JSON, and REST. Yes, of course. Before that, we had Go and Post. The parameters value of the request made by the web services need to be considered to test. Yes, so that what response is defined in the web application. This has to be tested by the web testing tools. Before we integrate the Google Maps API or any page of your website, this has to be taken care. And then you have limited project delivery time, of course, the deadline. The deadline is always a crucial factor in the software engineering. You studied about deadline or timeline, the one and the same but different terms. Concept is both are same. That while deciding to study to work on your web application project, you with development vendor, you need to define your time slot. You have to work on it. If you just think that I'll do this testing tomorrow, I'll do the performance testing day after tomorrow, I'll take my own time. No, because customers already made a agreement, a deal with your as a software vendor. You have to see that all this testing is done thoroughly. Don't use any shortcuts to just complete it and give it to your users. If something happens, ultimately you are the people you will be blamed. So when my customers come with an application errors, I ask them how much time the application has been developed. And when the time becomes limited, quality is bound to affect. But we have to say with optimization principle, we see the optimization. What is optimization? With minimum time, we can give them a good quality. We give them the quality defines what they want, and in the end the QA team will define their own quality features, their levels, their definition. But we have to see what we are doing. Okay, friend. today this much we have studied challenges in testing. Next time we'll see the different topic.